네, 하나생명과 샌드박스의 경기
Hanwha Life
함께하셨습니다.
Esports versus SANDBOX game number 1 has finished.
않았죠.
SANDBOX didn't have their game. So let's talk about their draft first. So we had another Aatrox versus Irelia matchup. So we could find out in the previous game that why Aatrox is so strong, but this time Summit proved that Irelia is also really strong. However, let's take a look at other lanes. They took very early Xayah Rakan comp. However, well, Xayah and Rakan, they were not really that impactful throughout the game. However, on the other hand, Yuumi from Lihan's was so powerful, starting from the laning phase until the end. It was not expected results for SANDBOX because they also had a very good laning phase, especially the top side. However, well, Hanwha Life Esports was really aware of how Rek'Sai go around the jungle. So watch where Yuumi landed his control ward. Well, Vista was checking where SANDBOX players were placing the ward, and then Lihan had very spooky ward over there. Really hard to catch from outside of the brush. So they were aware of the Rek'Sai pathing for a little bit, and then Cuvée also placed the ward right next to his lane. So with that ward, Aatrox had the information for potential Rek'Sai gank. So even though he had a lane that created space for Rek'Sai to go for a gank, he was really careful in that pace of time. So Rek'Sai's gank should have worked out in that point of game, whether it's on top lane or bot lane, but they couldn't find any meaningful gank in the early phase. However, SANDBOX was having not a bad day at all. However, there was this team fight that turned the whole game around. So, SANDBOX had winning top side and Hanwha Life Esports had a winning bot side. Irelia was the strongest champion in that point of the mark of the game, and at the same time Miss Fortune was the strongest champion on the side of Hanwha Life Esports. However, Irelia died so fast in that team fight, and then the rest of the SANDBOX player was also not able to follow up the fight. Well, SANDBOX players were thinking of like re-engaging that fight. However, with the Yuumi ult, they opened the team fight so nice. So the rest of the SANDBOX players weren't really able to react to that. So Irelia actually died in the third early phase of the team fight in 3 consecutive team fights. So, well, they couldn't really capitalize on the winning laner throughout the game. Then let's check out who will be the POG for this game. Haru on J4 got the POG. He had 100% kill participation, 2 kills and 22 assists. That's one of the most unbelievable stats we have seen in LCK so far. Haru and also Lihan had a 100% kill participation throughout this game. With Haru and Lihan together, they could have a very sustained team fight. It's really easy for J4 to melt down as soon as he engages. However, he had Yuumi on his back, so he could have extra time to survive and walk out. So, before this game, we always thought J4 is all about opening fights and dying for the teammates, but this time, J4 could open fights, do enough damage, and also survive. So 9 people voted for Haru as POG in this game. However, well, bot laners also picked up POG votes from the media. It was a very unbelievable performance coming from Hanwha Life, so let's check out game number 2.
Thank you, G-Sun, as always, for the wonderful translation of the analyst desk. As we are going to be going into game number 2 here in just a moment. Haru picking up that POG. Get your pogs out in the chat. That's how I feel right now. Haru had an amazing game from the beginning to end. You just realized?
I just realized.
Wow.
Just hit me. You know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what to say to that.
I'm a little slow.
I'm glad you realized it eventually.
Yeah.
As we got there here in the end of week 2. Leo going to be replacing Root and Gorilla. Familiar face will be replacing Joker.
And one of the questions I've had is why weren't they starting? In all honesty. I have to wonder what is going on inside of scrims that might have led to this. Looks like we got some maybe technical difficulty here, so you can sort of see on our screen what it is that's going on. And that's an Asus monitor on our screen right now.
Yeah.
You know, says League of Legends Champions Korea behind Lahens. Just wanted to point that out to you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Never noticed that.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
And Lahens obviously probably feeling pretty okay after game number 1. If anything, I am really worried for SANDBOX's mental state, but also Summit up there in the top lane because he was so big. He had 3 kills on Aurelia, Trinity Force, tier 2 boot, solo kill onto Cuvée, 40 CS advantage, and the game was even and stable, and then he lost. And we know that one of his downfalls as a player, one of his weaknesses, is his tendency to add some in to
Okay.
the gameplay whenever he gets flustered. Okay, we got some eye drops going in here. I'm not really... Alrighty. I'll just do that real quick.
Oh, he's crying.
Because the beautiful play.
Yeah.
He heard that you voted for him.
I did not vote for Tempt.
You did.
No, sorry, Tempt. I have always respected your mid-game play for a while, but I did not vote for you in this game.
Great. Great. You just
Now I made him cry.
Yeah, you made him cry. Wow.
Wow. So
Honestly.
sorry.
And, wow, he is sweating a lot. I wonder how stressed maybe he might be. You can actually sweat insane amounts when you're really concentrated on something that you're doing, even though it's not like a super physically demanding activity.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you've ever been to... I mean, have you played it in tournaments of like card games or anything like that?
I played in a couple of LANs.
Okay. Yeah.
For StarCraft 2, actually. Just way back.
Oh, really?
Way back, yeah.
Oh, that's ancient.
I know. Must have been
What race did you play?
2010. Oh, Protoss.
Of course you did.
Of course I did. What kind of question is that?
Of course.
You know, Atlas definitely plays Terran.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, definitely.
No.
Absolutely.
Absolutely not. Atlas.
You want to bet?
Yeah, actually, I do.
What do you think he plays?
Protoss, of course.
Protoss? No, I don't think so.
You think Atlas would have the patience or the willingness to move his mouse and keyboard at the necessary speed to play Terran?
Yeah, well, I mean...
Atlas strikes me as...
I didn't say play well, I just said play.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
All right,
like
no
playing
big deal.
a game, you know, like having fun, remember?
Atlas really... You know what? All right. I don't know if... Did he ever play? Do you know if he played?
I don't know.
Okay, well...
I do not...
I will bet you dinner on that one.
Okay.
Dinner.
You're probably going to flake on me again.
No.
Just like you flaked on Atlas.
What?
Watching it. I remember.
So, sorry guys, we have a little bit of a pause here before stuff going on. I guess the new subs that are coming in are just adjusting to the setup, making sure everything is well. as I'm looking forward to the red side draft that is going to come out of Hanwha Life in game number 2. I really want to see Soraka. I've said that. Well, I said it last game, and I'm going to say it again. Yeah, true. And yeah, what a series we have, though.
Yeah.
Because this definitely has the potential to obviously go 3 games. And if every game is going to end up like that, we're in for a very long night.
Yeah, so right now it's 9:40.
And here we go. We're jumping right in.
All right, Hanwha Life Red. This is something I was excited about because I feel like they have a much higher chance of making weird picks on this side. Yuumi, the first ban.
Yeah.
You don't want to deal with that again.
Banning away the Yuumi.
Imagine leaving Yuumi open for Lehens.
Yes. Well, Olaf now banned away, and Yuumi only gets better next patch.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really interesting. Akali.
Soraka ban.
Yep. Let's see if Hanwha Life is going to be able to get their hands on it. I don't think SANDBOX would pick Soraka. I can't imagine that they would think that would be a worthwhile pickup. You don't want to waste, or well, I don't want to say waste, but you don't want to put Summit on a champion like Soraka, most likely.
Just put her mid lane. Whatever.
You can, but
Yeah.
I don't think they would. So let's see what ends up happening. They have to know this is a real possibility, and if you B1 Aatrox, then there could definitely be some problems. Aphelios is open as well, and so is Set. So this is going to be a bit. Well, this could be a bit dicey. Now, Set is able to be flexed mid and top. Taking him into the jungle is a bit of a disservice.
What about Set support? What do you think?
Valdez?
Yeah.
Not now.
We're busy?
Yeah.
Oh,
We're busy trying to break down the pick ban.
oh
All right?
sorry. I thought maybe this was the time to theorize.
As Aphelios and Jarvan now picked up by Hanwha Life. And SANDBOX, they might just do the generic response with Rek'Sai and MF. Nope, it's going to end up being the Lee Sin. And are they just going to hit this with the Misfortune and try to approach it that way? No. Gonna end up getting the Syndra. And so Hanwha Life, if you want to get Soraka right now and have insane value with her, you would pick her on R3. But Tempt just deciding, I think, that he's going to take Mordekaiser into Syndra, which is so perplexing. Now, obviously, Mordekaiser can play an economy war.
Yeah.
And basically try to endlessly attack Syndra's monopool. Second ban phase here, though. Thresh being banned away, Ornn now being banned away by SANDBOX. Not wanting to deal with that. Late game scaling component. We'll see what the next ban is going to be. It's going to end up being Nautilus. And generally, when you see these two champions banned away, it is signifying that you would want to ideally pick an Enchanter, but it does mean that Blitzcrank is still available. And so if this is going to be the case, then R4 would likely beat another mid or top laner, and you'd reserve the counter pick support on R5. And ideally, what you're looking to hit is a melee support on the enemy team, and Soraka gets banned away. So I feel like they really dropped the ball here, and now this means that Cuvée is going to be in a skill matchup against Summit up there in the top lane, most likely. Shen is interesting.
I mentioned Shen earlier.
Yeah.
But I think that could be in the support role for
Well, it's a
Leshen's.
flex. Yeah, Leshen is definitely a thing that's going on. So I really like the multi-purpose Shen here on R4. It's able to go up into top lane, also able to go into support. And now, if you send the Shen top, obviously on Shen, you try to taunt the Set when he goes to the Haymaker, go right through it, he doesn't deal damage to you, you cast the Q, you get the enhanced blade, and then just try to constantly trade against him that way. As Sir Thomas Kench gonna come out for SANDBOX, and this is a very no-themey kind of team composition for SANDBOX. There's not a real core identity. Okay, so it's gonna be Syndra, Tom Kench down there in the bottom lane against the Aphelios, and this is a little surprising. Obviously, Leona is a champion that they could end up picking even though the Tom Kench is present. But it's going to be Cassiopeia. So I guess that's Mordekaiser heading top, and I don't know why Korea does this over and over. Mord doesn't beat Set. If Set plays right.
We've seen that happen too, where a Set outplays a Mordekaiser in the top lane. Happened to Roach.
And the other thing about it is Set doesn't need a QSS. He's just going to punch your face in the Death Realm. And so it's so peculiar. And now also because of the Cassiopeia, even more incentive for Summit to just go into the Merc Treads with the Hex Drinker and then find his way into Trinity Force. If he honestly builds Black Cleaver here with a Ryzen Syndra on his team, I am going to... Might not make it till tomorrow. Set, Lee Sin, Ryze, Syndra, and Tom Kench. This team composition gets really scary at 2 items, has insane pick potential via the QE from Syndra later in the game, setting things up really well. The Lee Sin is going to struggle, though, a little bit to find things to do as Shen, Aphelios, Cassiopeia, Jarvan, and Mordekaiser on the side of Hanwha Life. If they get ahead of SANDBOX, SANDBOX has no recovery. And in the super late game, this team composition is just so much stronger because it can brute force its way through sandboxes.
Absolutely, lots of scaling built into that one. SANDBOX on blue with Leo and Gorilla coming in. Same lineup here for Hanwha, but different side and a totally different composition being pulled into this one. As onto the Rift we go. Summit's got like a cape on. It kind of looks like a Witcher. Did you watch that show?
No, actually, I never
Witcher?
did.
No, I haven't yet either. I plan on it. I wanted to play the game. You know, I had The Witcher on my old computer, and my old computer couldn't run it. But I had already bought the game. And I downloaded it, and I was like, oh, I'm going to play this one. QV, really?
I think he's just trying to interrupt you.
I think, can you please?
I think he's actually just not interested in your story. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm interested, Valdez. Continue.
Okay, so I downloaded it, but I couldn't play it on my old computer. And then I eventually got a new computer, but I never re-downloaded it.
So it looks like it's just going to be a pretty safe start here by Hanwha Life.
And then I was like, I need to play this,
and
but I never did.
Doran's Blade started... I'm sorry, what did you say, Val?
Thanks. That's... I like that. That's really good.
No problem.
Thank you. So I wanted to play the game before I watched the show. Anyway, that was the whole point. We'll get there eventually. I don't know when that will happen, but yeah. Anyway.
All right, about that. Thank you for that tidbit.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know.
All right, well.
You're laughing with me, not
yes,
at me, right?
absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Of course. Yeah.
Cassiopeia's, it's good into the Ryze.
It is. Cassiopeia is actually really good here against the enemy team composition. They're all short range aside from Syndra, but in the later stages of the game, like I said, you're going to have the tank Jarvan that just catapults onto the Syndra, and even if she tries to use Scatter the Weak and whatnot, the rest of the Hanwha Life members are just going to be able to get on top of her. And she's not going to have the QSS, which also makes it a little bit problematic because you have the Shen taunt, you have so much direct backline access. And the other thing about this is Summit doesn't really have a suplex champion outside of, I guess, the J4. Well, I mean, he has Mordekaiser as the suplex champion,
yeah.
But in the late stages of the game, him suplexing in will lead immediately to his demise. And now Summit could just cheat a recall right now. He could recall into a Null Magic Mantle or a Cull, or another Doran's Blade, but instead opts to actually stay through Wave 4 and go and check on the Golems. And so they're valuing the map information more than anything else right now, and it's this really weird ping pong thing that just isn't necessary, because had he recalled, he'd be back in lane right about now, and the wave would be on his side of the map. Lee Sin would still be doing the same route, and Mordekaiser would just die if he overextends. And then because of the surplus of minions, Set gets to freeze, which then means he gets to dog down Mordekaiser with Q and E.
Yeah. We all know that he likes to do that in that long top lane.
Sheer aggressive desire of Summit in this lane might not, I mean, it can end up being favorable, but it doesn't make it super smart how he's going about it.
How long is Haru going to spend in this bottom lane, by the way?
Can you leave him alone? He's busy.
He's a good Jarvan, but I don't know about this.
He's Jarvan the 4th because he doesn't leave.
Instant devour. And the roots do come in. Sun misses onto Lahens, but the nice flash comes in there. Here's Lee Sin. Hello. Gonna be slowed down. Easy Q into kill. First blood on Fleek. Takes him down.
And so that is disastrous, obviously, up there in top lane. Really good flash as well by Gorilla. In addition to the flash for Flash that ended up going against Lahens, as not the end of the world for the bot lane stuff, but Vista doing a pretty good job. Ends up rooting up Leo, though. As Summit, yeah.
Oh, boy. Oh. It's not looking too fun up there. As neither did this.
Really good stun right there by Summit. Doesn't even matter. Really nice W into Flash. Not a lot of people don't know that you can do that, but you can. And I believe in patch 10.4 coming out later this week, Lux is also going to be able to start Flash R-ing.
Yeah.
Or R-flashing.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really cool.
So that means you can actually reposition where the laser hits?
Yes, and that's actually really insane on roams.
That is insane.
That's going to be really, really big for both mid and support Lux on any of her roams. And if you don't play Lux, you certainly can. Can purchase her in the store for some blue essence. Also has a surplus of skins. Personally, I would recommend Elementalist Lux.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite.
You know, but definitely make sure to get a couple of different ones, test them out to suit your needs.
Yeah, they're not that expensive, you know, maybe just like $10 each, something like that. Yeah, you might want to check it out. If you go into your client, you can check out it has like some gold coins, and if you just click on that, it brings you to the store where they have a lot of this stuff available. And yeah, the more I watch top lane, the more I realize this is.
It's a really brutal matchup. I have no idea in what world anyone ever arrives at thinking this is favorable for Mordekaiser. The only time he's ever able to beat Set is if Set's behind, and other than that, it just really doesn't make any sense. Now, Phage was picked up first by Summit. We're gonna get an answer in probably a couple of moments here as to if he's going to be sinning with the Black Cleaver or if he's a bit of a gentleman with the Triforce, as Fate getting traded on right now. And even being zoned out of mid. Now, his jungler's in close proximity, nice. And Temp doesn't have vision. That was a nice bounce back, yeah.
He ends up winning the trade with just that little play. Dodge the second and third poisons.
They're going to dive Cuvée, I believe. up in top lane. If they chain all the CC together, he can't activate Death Realm. And so it did look like another Haymaker just ended up hitting. And so the way that you're going to do this is obviously R on the set into Ward Hop. Well, Lee Sin doesn't have the ward yet, but Ward Hop Dragon Kick and just chain everything together. So let's see if they end up... Oh no, they're not even going to go for it.
Huh. I wonder why.
Yeah.
Seems like a pretty free kill.
Yeah, as long as you coordinate everything. Mordekaiser's not going to be able to respond with Death Realm, even though he is in turret range. Ocean Drake.
Yeah.
The drop down is letting us know in English before telling us what it does in Korean.
Oh,
So,
oh, cool.
yeah. Pretty pog.
They know that all our global viewers are just really knowledgeable about League of Legends, so they only put that up in Korean because all the English viewers know already. I think that's the reason.
Well, I think that they just know that everyone watching is just a polyglot.
Oh,
and Korean
yeah, that's
is,
possible.
Of course, a part of their,
Yeah, I mean,
one of their,
you're watching this.
maybe 7 languages.
Yeah. Oh, only 7 for you?
Oh, well,
It's like,
not.
I think it's like 10.5 for me. I'm like a little bit shady on my finish. But yeah. Generally, you know, pretty solid on the rest
Yeah.
of them.
That is pretty good.
On the other 10.
Yeah. As Summit now up here in top lane, gonna also be up a cannon here over Cuvée, and there's the Merc Treads that does end up being picked up. Still don't know if it's gonna be Trinity Force or Black Cleaver for Summit. As Cuvée, he's gonna be struggling a bit. He's only down about 600 gold right now in top lane, but the dynamic of the matchup is definitely rough. And you can also see that the other place where the gold discrepancy is really being felt is inside of the jungle. As
Ooh.
Tam...
He went in there and he pressed stop.
this isn't...
Oh, he's going for it. The play. Oh,
Oh.
the fail flash. No. But LeShen makes his way in. Q is going to land as he's in transition. And On Fleek is On Fleek going to put him down as another kill will come in. And how about a third? We will at least force the flash away from Lehens. As there you have it. 3-0 now after those 2 kills.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, Cotton. I'm thinking... You know the Papa Smithy image where it's like go next fast?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think this
Yeah.
is.
That's very popular in the LCK Discord. Go next fast.
Oh, man.
Well,
This game is looking extremely rough right now.
yeah. Top's doing really well, obviously. After that play, Haru and Temp's going to get behind. We'll take another look here at how it happens.
And so Haru gets kicked away, and I think what he tried to do was place his mouse cursor in a way that the terrain would glitch him to the other side. That's a thing on some like skill
Of
shots
the
and wards.
miasma?
Huh?
Of the miasma or the wall?
Of the wall.
나 탁할게. 나 방금 기가 막혔다.
But
야, 바텀 먹어야 돼. 바텀 먹어야 돼.
바텀은 라이저 가줄.
They're just talking about the follow-up rotations from that fight. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like there's certain spots where if you flash into it or you skill shot into it, like a dash or something, it'll move you through. You don't know.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Okay. Well,
There,
now
what,
you
there
do.
are no glitches in this game?
Yes, there are.
No,
There's the ward spots in
kidding.
all the lanes.
Yeah,
that
I know
are-
the ward spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can also do a similar thing with flash at certain locations on the map.
Sounds pretty broken.
Yeah, there's also another thing I believe is true as well is Syndra. She's in the game, so I'll bring it up. If you QE through terrain, it extends the range of Scatter the Weak, I believe.
Huh.
If the orb, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thought I'd let you know that.
Thanks for that
Yeah,
little
thanks.
tidbit.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
That'll be $5. What?
Can I settle for an OPGG?
No.
I give you an OPGG.
I don't do those anymore.
No, yeah, I will do one for you is what I'm saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, as payment for your advice.
Thank you.
No problem. Lots of focus on this Cloud Drake. Really lining up to try to take this one down. SANDBOX up 3,000 gold. And On Fleet confident enough to jump on into that one. Just get it low enough. I don't know if they can burst this down.
Oh!
Oh!
A lot of people didn't know that you can do that. That was a change that happened a long time ago. I remember I said that the other day during an invade, that Tom should just eat the buff.
Yeah.
A lot of people got very angry and tweeted at me. But they forgot that.
How do you respond to that? You just link the patch notes, or?
I wish I could link my mastery points on Tom.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of years. I don't know how many.
Picture.
I don't know how many million. No, it's spread out across so many accounts, but.
Oh, true.
Obviously, that change is recent, but Thomas has a very special place.
Yeah, he's has he been upgraded though from Timothy?
No, he hasn't. But
Okay.
you know, we gotta be respectful sometimes.
True. When he's winning.
Yes. And Mountain Soul is gonna be the one that is gonna end up coming up this game, and interestingly, for both parties, that's a very dull soul. In the sense that both of them sort of take very sustained fights over and over. And so there's not like a lot of burst that the Mountain Soul itself would protect you from. And then the enemy is out of fuel. So that is definitely a bit surprising.
Yeah. Infernal would have been fun. Lots of
Okay,
scaling
moment of
up on
truth,
both
moment of
sides.
truth. If he buys Black Cleaver, I have lost all faith.
Hey, there's a 2-0 Lee Sin on his team. And Thomas Kent is going to be autoing.
So that's why I was saying earlier that Keen is the best top laner
Yeah.
in the LCK.
Oh, okay. Is that what you said?
Yeah, with
I don't
Nuguri
remember
following shortly after.
Okay.
You know, so.
And then where does Summit? Where's
Who?
Summit? Who?
Who?
Oh.
Well,
Aw. Hey, at least he got a No Magic Mantle for all of the AP from Mordekaiser and Cassiopeia.
well. This game is going to continue on as per usual. Just a 3,000 gold lead currently locked for SANDBOX. The Andre Stormman going to be the first item of the game for Cube. And it's not like Hanwha Life can't come back into the later stages by stalling this game out for a while. And then also, if they end up winning the next Mountain Dragon fight and capturing the Drake, they're going to buy themselves an enormous amount of time. And Set doesn't really have split push options this game by any mean. Mordekaiser obviously going to be able to hold him underneath a tier 2 turret, regardless of how big the Set ends up getting. And then also, because of Summit's refusal to freeze waves, even though this is a very healthy laning phase, every single turret on the map, except for Cassiopeia's mid-tier 1, is so healthy. And so, taking cannon waves, freezing them, demanding that Mordekaiser walks up to them to lengthen the experience gap and the CS gap between himself and Mord would be so much better than just ping-ponging back and forth, then taking eventual chip damage onto the turret. And he's trying to raise the turret right here. Not going to be able to. I actually think, well, he'd probably end up losing the fight if he took a turret shot or two, depending on how Mordekaiser would end up playing it. Death Realm is available, but Mord does have Leandri's Torment.
Well done.
And there is no Trinity Force on the side of Summit.
He's still got time to buy it second.
True. Probably won't, though. Probably
No.
going to be Hex Drinker next, most likely.
The
Unless he could also go adaptive, but that would be probably really rare to see. As Lee Sin is also going to buy a Black Cleaver, so SANDBOX is going to have Black Cleavers for your Black Cleaver so that you can black on your Cleaver.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Thomas Kent is going to be the real winner.
Yes.
Nobody's going to have any armor. He's going to be getting a bunch of damage done.
It does look like Cassiopeia now. So basically, Cassio has as one of two items that she ends up purchasing second. It's either Rylai's for CC and control and just the ability to manipulate team fights with the slows that you can add, or Liandry's Torment. However, here, what we're seeing is Oblivion Orb against champions that already have magic resistance present and that you know is only going to get more magic resistance the later that the game goes. So now, the Oblivion Orb's magic pen is basically irrelevant, less HP until it's completed into Morello than the other items. And we have a Mountain Dragon that is spawning, and Hanwha Life are the ones that seem to be in the better position for it. But Rift Herald gonna perforate that mid-tier 1.
I wonder why they wouldn't just wait another 15 seconds and then drop the Rift Herald, just to, because you
just
keep,
to sync it up with the
with
going to the dragon.
Because you keep the Cassio, or one person there to at least kill that Rift Herald while you're killing the Drake, and you delay their ability to come over and fight. But now it seems like everybody's delayed on this fight, as Hanwha Life actually gonna make the first move on this one.
And Hanwha Life might be able to actually just get this. Shen just got, I think, 5 or 6 magic resist.
Yeah.
I moved my eye to it actually a little slow. I saw a 7, did not see what the next digit was.
Oh, he's just getting him down here, but he's not going to be able to kill them, and we have a giant rotation up to the top side, getting Cuvée into position. Even Thomas Kent is getting in there. Nothing that the Mordekaiser could do, as he does get taken out alongside of his top tier 1 turret.
And so Hanwha Life, they pick up the Mountain Dragon, and that's really good for them. It brings them 10 minutes away from threatening Soul, which is really valuable. But now Haru comes up into top lane, and he's pushing back the wave immediately. As right now, all that they need to be worried about is trying to stall the game and make sure that everything is just going really smooth. So Summit, he's gonna raise this bot tier 2, and now in an ideal world, okay, in another universe, we would freeze now if we're Hanwha I can't speak. Hanwha Life Esports.
Lost speech, man. Why does he always come back?
We take a look at this, by the way, as well. Summit ended up having some reinforcements arrive, and oddly, he is building the QSS, which I guess it does have value against the Shen as well as the Cassio.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose at the end of the day, it's going to be more magic resist. I wonder what other item he could have gone into that wasn't the QSS. There are some, but with the other synergies you were talking about with denying a bunch of CC, on top of the fact that they're probably going to get a bunch of Mountain Drakes anyway, might be enough. Magic resist, just get the QSS and then build damage.
Well, 2.5 minutes until the next Mountain Dragon, and also Syndra seemingly building Morello as well, even though the opponent already has a Mountain Drake. And then in addition to that, they have magic resistance present on 2 champions. As it currently stands, Jarvan, as you can see, 71 magic resist.
I think he's AFK.
Morello.
He's been in this brush for like a minute and a half.
He's been doing that a lot this game.
Yeah.
He won MVP and then he just checked out.
He did his job.
Yeah. 5,000 gold advantage for SANDBOX right now. Ping's going down in bot lane. As not too much is really happening. Lahen's just trying to place wards where he can. XP point Summit up there at 15. And Cube about to ding 15. Tempt also behind Fate.
14.
Yeah.
You mean?
Oh yeah, 14.
Yeah.
Vista is ahead of Leo. And Haru is actually really far behind on Fleek. And Lahen's also really far behind Gorilla, considering it is a support. Locket of the Iron Solari also being picked up by Tom Kench first. I think it's quite nice, as both parties do fight together very clumped up. And so that shield is just going to be so valuable. And all right, well, not much.
Hey, Mountain Drake's coming up in 50 seconds.
What did you have for dinner, Valdez?
Dinner? It was interesting. It was like 3 different dishes.
Okay.
But they are gonna get the stun. Okay, never mind. One of them was kimchi stew.
Okay.
It had some, you know, chopped meats in there, some kimchi, obviously, in a red broth with some extra vegetables, which was pretty good. I'm a fan of that. Another dish was just a fried egg on top of some rice.
Okay.
And then the third one was kind of a mix. Well, it wasn't a mix, but there were like 3 things in the third one. One of them was beef, like kind of like bulgogi, but not really. Similar.
Okay.
And then there was kimchi, and then there was, it was a fried, it's one of my favorite things to eat, by the way. It's really good. It's a fried seaweed roll.
Okay.
So there's like cooked noodles and stuff inside, like what you would have inside a dumpling, inside of the seaweed, and then that gets fried.
All right. Not
It's really
bad.
good.
Not bad. Not bad, Valdez. Not bad. Teleport coming in now on Mordekaiser.
Oh, trying to root them all up. Cube getting Gorilla on Fleek. Now going to kick Haru, who is going to stopwatch with like 1 health left. Is going to get the Cataclysm off. Doesn't amount to too much as the smite. Oh, it misses.
Oh my God,
goes to
Mordekaiser passive.
Oh, baby. Cube player of the game.
I like how Mord laughs as he dies.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
He knows he's getting player of the game.
Yeah, I
for
still got it.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you vote for him? Anyway, we're going for the Baron.
And, okay. So they
the
ended
red
up,
bump.
yeah, oh man. And now SANDBOX, this is a very tilty Baron, as you can see. And now they're gonna have to back off, and so at the end of it, that's not that bad for Hanwha Life, considering how this all starts. Pay attention to Cube. He misses a flash Death Realm Death Grip onto the whale that is Tom Kench. Gorilla ends up going golden, and I think the reason that he did this was because the locket of the Iron Solari, so Gorilla's not able to give it to his teammates during this team fight. He pulls them into the realm saying, there will be no locket here.
Sounds like a 5-hit move.
Yeah, I mean,
if I ever heard or saw one.
And now this means that Hanwha Life, they'll get one more chance, one more opportunity in this game to make it count. As really, this is a little revolting here that I really think that Tempt is about to build Leandri, or Rylai's instead of Leandri's, even though, look at the amount of HP stack on the side of SANDBOX. And then remember that Leandri's, it deals damage based on your max health. So.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know
it's
that.
really, well.
I love trolling so much.
And
It's
it
a lot of
also,
fun.
it goes up if they're slowed.
Yeah.
Or, you know, anything like that.
Which-
Slowed, immobilized, etc.
You can get the Rylai's after.
Yeah, I mean, I would be very surprised if you didn't know that part. Not a lot of people do.
Yeah, I mean...
Just ask Fnatic's mid laner.
Mimesis.
Yes, the lemon.
Yeah. And, well... On Fleek, he said he's not to be outdone. He says, you tried to push my lane? How dare you? I will push it back. Very quickly. And now they're just going to start up the Baron here. They are doing a nice amount of damage. The Syndra, obviously, with Rise, will do that. They're poking in now. It's going to be up to Haru. Trying to get this one. He's going to get in with the Cataclysm. He's kicked, though. Oh! He gets it! At 816 health, Haru is going to steal the Baron just like that. And Hanwha Life, they are not out of this game just yet.
I think nothing but silence really captures what just ended up happening. Now, on the side of Hanwha Life, there are so many standing turrets they have yet to capture. And that is where a lot of the gold discrepancy is coming from right now. And so Cube gonna get level 16. That was not just a Baron. That was not just the 1,525 gold that Baron ends up giving as the Miasma on Set so that Set can't superplex the Jarvan away.
816 clean.
And right there at the very end, there's a bit of a love tap onto the Lee Sin as Aphelios.
미드 라인. 어떻게 비싸 결혼해줘. 나 믿어라.
Marry me?
Yeah. nice synergy right there.
Yeah.
Oh! Whoa! That item on Cassio.
Oh, he bought a Leandris. Oh.
All right, well.
And now they have synergy too. The two of them both have Leandris. Him and the other AP user, Mr. Mordekaiser.
Mr. Moore does indeed have a Leandris. And finally some magic resistance actually coming in on the enemy team. As things are starting to get dicey.
Yeah, they're
20 seconds until the mountain, and a mountain soul going the way of Hanwha Life would really spell disaster. It would hurt Syndra a lot, even if Rise and Set and Lee Sin are pretty okay with fighting into it. Syndra's whole purpose of what she can do initially would end up really being slammed. And I wonder if SANDBOX is even afraid to try to start this up. No, they don't actually seem to. I think they're just going to burst it down.
Rise already chunked it to half health, so...
Yeah, there's no way they're going to lose that, as Rise going to realm warp out really clean.
Just like that. Rise having some nice utility. I'm glad that the teams eventually figured out how to use that well.
Still down 5,000 gold, but we have crossed the 30-minute threshold, so doesn't really mean all that much. Haru coming in here trying to get some golems. And SANDBOX, they're still behind in levels everywhere, or SANDBOX still ahead in levels everywhere. Yeah. Cube gonna raise this bottom tier 1 turret. They're gonna pick up some gold there, but it's gonna come at the expense of the mid tier 2. As Baron does dissipate. Cube still down there, pushing away.
Hey, he's not giving up.
About to ding level 17. Yeah, I'll get one more wave. And Set coming in now. Abyssal Voyage available on Gorilla as well.
Doesn't look like they want to make a move. As Rise was top the STP, they're tentatively hanging around the mid lane. Notice that Shark on fleek on the Lee Sin, just posturing, waiting for his chance to bite. Not gonna happen. Fate gonna stick around top lane because no one ever got there.
Yeah. Gold lead continues to extend as Fate uses Realm Warp to get away. A little bit surprising.
And now TP, guys all over the map. It's gonna get knocked up here, but that is a strong Rise. Don't quite have the damage though. Haru's going pretty far in. He's trying to get some room for Vista here, who flashes forward right into Summit, who is trying to get on in there, but Rise will go down, and now Haru has the front line here, and they are just kiting him down
and
one
Leo,
by one.
He's and so teleport coming in from Mordekaiser. This can be the game.
Stun was good. Superplex in the back. Summit is going ham, but he is going to go down. Vista will survive. And now Leo burning down. There it is, the poison and the Leandri. See you later.
And so this was a very disjointed team fight but the sustain of Hanwha Life throughout the team fights and their ability to constantly keep repositioning is also really good. The scaling of the Casio and the Aphelios is nothing to joke about. As also just the itemization on the side of SANDBOX, a little, you know, leaving a bit to be desired. Teleport, you can see coming in from Fate, really good knockup by Haru. Lahen's trying to go in there as well. Cataclysm being cast on him. Cube making it out because Leo
survived.
too slow on the GLP, and that comes back to bite them. As Summit goes in there for the stun, but Vista, Eladio's doing a lot of things. Summit trying his best inside of this fight. Thomas gets turned into, turned into something. As Summit manages to turn this around the best that he can. Superplexes Haru, tries to bring down Vista, almost. You know what? Probably would have had him with the Trinity Force, but...
You know, he probably would have. But not the case, given the item that he did have. Now they're really stacking up the MR on the side of SANDBOX. This is really no joke. We need Void Staffs. Oh, on the side. Oh.
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 Oh. Oh. That's Baron.
Well, good job on the play-by-play. Thanks for joining me on that one.
Yeah, no
they're going to
problem.
push while the Baron's being taken. Haru's not even going there. They're saying, hey, maybe we can get Mountain Drake. No, it's too late. They have enough damage. They're just going to let it go. Say, Tempt, sorry about that. You died, and now we lost Baron.
And they might even lose Dragon because Temp comes up a second after Dragon spawns. And this is so unfortunate. It's such a greedy play by Tempt and Haru. There's no reason to be where they are on the map when Baron is coming up in a minute until Dragon. So now they lost the Baron, and so SANDBOX is going to be bolstered for this Dragon fight. Tempt is not going to be up for it, and Cassiopeia is so important to this team fight. And they're not even going to have a team fight. It's just going to be Mountain Soul and, Mountain Drake and Mountain Drake.
Yep. Mountain Drake coming in here, and now it's Mountain Drake points. Mountain Soul points.
Drake Point.
Drake Point, okay.
Sounds like a location. Doesn't it?
It's like a tennis.
Like, meet me at Drake Point, you know?
Drake Point?
No, not the rapper.
Oh.
That's what you were thinking of, weren't you?
Yeah.
You
How
probably
did you know? The second that popped in my mind, you're like, oh, stop thinking of that.
Because you probably watched Degrassi growing up.
I did see some episodes, yes.
I'm actually really sad they canceled it at Next Class Season 5, and I was really disappointed.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, actually, I think one of the first times I went to your house, you were watching Degrassi.
I believe so.
Yeah, that seems familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad we figured that out.
Now we have a darker, more messed up version of it called 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, I mean, Degrassi really just took a spin.
I haven't watched that show, actually.
Are you really?
Yeah, really. That's not one that I, no. Not yet. Maybe in the future. They're trying to push here, but they don't have everybody. So they're trying to do 1-3-1, but they're taking a little while for the lanes to push in. So you'll see the strength of the push happen when they get pulled apart a bit. But there's only 45 seconds-ish left on Baron buff.
Yeah. And don't mistake the state of the game. Hanwha Life can still very easily win this, all things considered.
They doesn't back down anymore from the fights against Summit. I really feel like that Leandri's is helping him a lot, to be honest. Just watching it slowly burn away, chip away at Summit's health.
I heard someone comment, because when you're playing with it, the ticks will appear very small. It'll say like 11, 11, 11, 11.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's not doing anything. And it's like, it just ticked so many times.
Yeah, it just ticked like...
Can you multiply? Did you finish elementary
What's
school?
multiplying? What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah.
No, you just add all the 11s
I need a calculator
together.
for that.
Yeah. I don't know how to multiply. What are you talking about?
Isn't that a thing that Karibo does? What?
Who? What?
Valdez, just get
Who's
off the
Karibo?
desk.
What are you talking about?
Just leave. Oh my god.
I just need Atlas to sit behind me, and every time you make a reference, he'll just whisper in my ear. He'd be like, "Oh, that's the guy from Avatar." I'll be like, "Oh yeah, the guy from Avatar."
I don't even want to know how you function outside of this CAD. All right.
Well, we do have this Mountain Drake coming up in 2 minutes, and the game. Oh, they're just. Now that there's not much going on, they're saying, hey, maybe we can just collapse on the Summit. They are going to get that flash out of him, so nicely done. He won't have that for the next 5 minutes, the next fight.
That's huge.
Yeah,
that
the Mountain
is
Drake.
so
It's big.
crucial because already with the miasma, it's going to be hard enough for the set to reposition. Locket of the time, Iron Solari, by the way, on Haru. And I think Void Staff is coming in for the Mordekaiser next. So that'll be very surprising to see what kind of damage he's going to end up doing once he has that completed. Not quite sure how far away he is from it. Okay. Actually, it was not a Void Staff.
Rylai's. Yeah.
But there was already so much slows in immobilizing effects that he's already getting the benefit from the Leandre's second part. So I think like again, this is one of those math things where Void Staff would just do so much more. So a little bit surprising to see him end up picking up that item.
You know what you got to do? You got to make a show where it's like LS by the numbers.
Well,
And
Shocker
just like
just made a fantastic show, or a fantastic YouTube video. I told you about it earlier.
yeah. Where you
So-
just you break down the actual math behind it. You're like, look, in this scenario at level 15, you like get in the practice tool and you get these champs out and you practice it and you're like, hey, look at the extra damage.
Okay, Aladios. Switching guns.
About your damage.
All right, Valdez.
15 seconds. I'm getting hyped. Here we go. They're gonna go on this guy. He doesn't have flash. Remember, already a nice amount of chip damage.
Yeah, and I mean he's still burning down right now.
Yeah. Ulahen's got to be careful. That rise is big.
This choke point is so scary.
Yeah, and they're realizing it now. They say we cannot funnel in there.
Why? Oh, they just started.
Oh, it's really on a nice sense here on fleek as Haru goes in, actually gets suplexed into the back.
What
on
did he
top of
just
3
do?
people. Gives him the perfect one, but take a look at Vista trying to do that damage. Not quite having enough to take out Gorilla, but Summit incredibly low, but not enough. As Lahens goes in, but take a look at Vista. He's going 1v4. He's going to have that engage from his teammates. And it looks like he's going to create enough room for the rest of them.
They need
Only
to-
Leo and Gorilla get away. Oh, on fleek was down here. Makes it out. They still have the jungler.
And so Casio and Vista, they can do this. This is scary.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Aphelios.
Okay.
Okay.
They created enough room.
And honestly, that might be all she wrote, as the Mountain Soul is doing so much now inside of this game.
Oh.
Let's take a look at this one more time.
Haru's like, take me.
Flashes away from the fight, and then Realm Warps. I don't know where he's going.
What?
He was going to North America or something with that Realm Warp. He was already completely out of the fight, allowed to reposition however he wanted.
I didn't even notice that happened.
And Hanwha Life just tearing through them. And these are the team fights we talked about in the draft phase that would eventually end up happening in most cases. So even when Set finds a miracle superplex to get so much damage and value on the enemy team, now this is just, it's such a nightmare. 18% magic resist and armor amplification for Hanwha Life, in addition to the bonus shield, as Aladios, I think, waiting on Maw. Yeah, he has Maw of Malmortius.
He has Maw, and he has the Imperial Scimitar.
Yeah.
And that's a tanky guy. He hasn't even died once in this game. I feel like we're going to see a very, very big Eladios here. Sometimes I can't remember his real name when you say it too many times. Helios. Yeah.
Eladios just seems to fit better.
Yeah, it rolls off the tongue, you know? Vista coming in here, and he's really the guy you gotta watch, as I feel like he can shred your whole team at a moment's notice. Sammy's zoned out here, as looking on Bleak is in the death realm, but Haru's getting low. There's the smite. He does get it off, but who's gonna die is the question. Vista zoned out of the fight over the wall, but it does not matter, as now he's gonna come in here with full health, as Fate trying his best to get that burst damage, but it is not gonna be enough. Vista, way too much doing in this fight as he picks up the double kill, and now they look to push down mid.
And right now, Haru just trying to protect these minions. Fate is, I think, gonna have to take a right turn and try to find the minions to proxy. The death timers are way too high. I don't know what Fate's trying to do. Fate,
He thinks he can 1v3. Says, I'm Rise.
and all right, well, he's gonna need to be Gandalf right now.
Yeah, prove it, Fate. You got it. He's gonna miss the knockup and the stun. And he takes out one, but that is not enough. He needed all three of those to go down. Thomas Kent's gonna respawn here. He'll get taunted up, and this is just gonna be the Vista show. Autoing down the Nexus as he leads. Okay, all right, nice little devour. And you gotta auto that, buddy. You're gonna get suplexed. Okay, does take it down in the end. GG, Hanwha Life pick up the 2-0 over SANDBOX tonight.
And I just want to point out that Mordekaiser's passive stole the Mountain Dragon.
Yeah.
And that brought it to Drake Point eventually.
Yeah.
Otherwise, SANDBOX would have had Soul. I don't know who to give the MVP to. I think it's Vista.
I guess, yeah. I guess it has to be. To be honest,
I mean,
a lot of people
who
are
you kidding. You know that it's Cube because he stole it with
yeah,
the passive.
That's true. Oh man, I can't believe I was so wrong on that one. Look, even the coach is like, you are the player of the game. Congratulations. No. Yeah, I think it has to be Vista. I mean, his positioning was good. You know, meme all you want about Aphelios. The guy did have a good game of League of Legends, and so I think he should pick up that player of the game. As pretty sad day for SANDBOX. A couple of long games that easily could have gone their way. Had, 2-3 things gone differently within the game. But it just didn't pan out that way. Sometimes you're going to have those days where you get so close a couple times and then you just fall short just barely. It feels like that day today for SANDBOX, but it's been a lot of days nowadays for SANDBOX, honestly.
Yeah.
It's not feeling good for them in the beginning of spring.
And honestly, they had such a miracle start this game. They had so many advantages, and then they chose to just keep playing ping pong with the waves. And so there's a lot of stuff that you could VOD review inside of this match that is an example that there's a lot of other options in the game than just mindlessly pushing and trying to get chip damage on turrets. Itemization was a really big problem, though, for both teams in this series, not even just this last game. That was also very perplexing. But I really did like Hanwha Life's team composition in the final game.
Yeah.
If it made it to the end stages, and it definitely did in Cassiopeia and Aphelios, living up to what they're able to do. I really like seeing Cass. I don't know why. She gets a lot of flack from a lot of people, even though she's one of the best champions in the game and also a meta destroyer. She truly has settled the wreckage against melee comps.
You try to draft a specific comp, even what we had here with all short range.
Yeah, she ruins you.
You just flip over the card and it's like your trap card. It's Cassiopeia's face. they all get turned to stone and then they lose the game. That's exactly what happens. Doesn't happen every game for Cassiopeia, but drafted in the right spot and in the right hands.
Yeah.
Can absolutely do a lot of damage. And yeah, Cassiopeia.
This is where it all started. And Haru ends up dying. And this was the dream start for SANDBOX. Superplex in onto Temp. Everyone coming over the wall in order to make sure they got that kill, but
take a look at this player of the game highlight.
Honestly, dude, I'm gonna lose my mind if this gets player of the game. Ready? Darkness rises.
He picks it up. Just passive. So based. And you look at this.
Miasma.
Miasma, perfect
Yeah.
from Temps. Avoids the suplex. Haru's able to stay in there, stay alive.
Now, Tempt going into the pit was a little bit questionable.
Yeah.
He was tempted.
You know, that happens a lot to him for some reason.
And right here, Leo really botching it again, allowing the Mordekaiser to live. Helios not quite able to kill on fleek there, but Gladios doing a lot of things. Changing his guns up. Leo completely at that point, and this is where the flank teleport from Mordekaiser started to come in. And yeah, you can just see at the bottom there, Cube getting in onto Leo. And this was it. The end stage Baron. As Set not able to do a lot. That was a beautiful haymaker. Cube just too big at this point on the Mordekaiser. Philios on the other side tries Set Summit Might on Set, but the resistances, the shield, everything just all too much for them to really overpower, and Vista cleaning up the fight.
제기만 해. 들어가지 말고. 내가 연계해줄 수 있으니까 그래서 제기만 해.
중력파 30초.
대리형 생기고 해. 펜치 곧 나온다.
And here we see
들어가도 돼, 미스가.
not Gandalf, but Ron Weasley
괜찮냐? 라이트.
가인드 일단.
Oh no!
trying to hold the fort.
아, 괜찮아. 빨리.
타워 쳐봐.
Hit the tower.
그래.
Hit the tower.
수고 끝낼 수도 있어.
We can end.
타워 쳐.
Hit the tower.
맞아.
Hit the tower.
아니야, 타워 쳐. 끝냈어. 세트 돼,
It's interesting. They call the Nexus a tower as well. They keep saying hit the tower, hit the tower, hit the
나이스!
tower.
됐다!
And then they said Nisa. As we take a look here at the damage, it was actually entirely in SANDBOX's favor. Not the damage, but the gold. As eventually Hanwha, anyway, was able to pick up the win there. Down gold, did not matter. They get that Mountain Soul, and we talk about how important that was. And man, Cube gets in there, puts his body next to the Mountain Drake, picks up one, and allows them to extend it to a Mountain Soul. What a play of the game.
Don't. Honestly, don't.
Okay, I'm sorry. But Aphelios, huge damage. You can see on top there as...
Don't let me see it.
All right, just don't look. You don't need to see. Just don't look behind you. Yeah, it's like one of those things, like if you look, then something bad is gonna happen, but if you don't look, it's okay. It's all right. The right person won. But wow, Hanwha Light, they go up to 2-2 after that play. They 2-0 SANDBOX, which is a team that we say, led by Summit, should be on at least the left side of the bracket.
It really is Summit be-all.
So far, no.
On SANDBOX. It really is Summit be-all. Their tendency and play style, it's very reckless. Obviously, when they're ahead and they're winning, it can be really nice, but when they're even or losing...
See, the right person won.
He did.
Vista picking up the player
I
of the
love
game.
him. A support main coming in here, playing ADC. Not very often you can say something like that in League of Legends.
It's true. He steps up, you know?
And Summit, honestly, had so many good superplexes in this game, as well as so many good base breakers as well on Set, but just not able to do anything to really close it out. So Vista ends up getting the MVP. This was a really nice comeback by Hanwha Life, although it is sort of spurred by the, you know, Mordekaiser's still in the mountain.
Yeah. The Baron steal.
The Baron
the
steal
first one
as
that
well
happened.
by Haru, yeah.
Baron steal comes in. That was a clean smite, by the way. That guy is really on his mechanics nowadays. Say what you want. I mean, I think his game 1 was a lot cleaner than game 2, but he still got the job done. He's still looking really clean, and I think he might be unexpected driver of a force that could be a new Hanwha Life roster that actually does pretty well against some of our expectations. So
Yeah.
cool stuff to see. It's kind of like a ragtag group of guys that come together, all from different teams. Some people play different roles and all that stuff. But I'm going to hand it over to Ji-sun. Let's talk to a couple of these guys.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jason with the translation, and we'll be hearing from Haru and Vista from Hanwha Life Esports. How are you feeling picking up the POG today? First of all, we got a very clean 2-0 win, so I'm really happy. So yes, you guys did stop the losing streak, and also you got a very clean win score. And Vista is your first POG. I'm not sure whether I deserve this, but getting this POG, I'm really shy right now. How are you able to turn the game around? And you said you trusted yourself when I asked you before the interview. I mean, I have to do so to make my teammates happy. So let's go back to game number 1, Haru. So B1 J4. Hanwha Life will drafted around the jungle. J4, the champion, is really good at team fights and has a very easy game in the early phase. However, I mean, it was not just comfortable. You had 100% kill participation in game number 1. Last time it was Olaf and Yumi. This time it was J4 and Yumi. So do you feel more reliable when you have Yumi on your back? Well, in terms of doing damage and also in terms of healing, I can go with more aggressively. So we could see a fantastic teamwork from Yumi and J4, the final team fight. So you actually trapped Victor in the back and then cared MF. So their damage dealers were all grouped up. So I wanted to trap both Victor and Zaya, but I failed that. But still, we had a nice angle, so I was able to pull it off really well. So the team fight overall was so clean. So which champion do you prefer, J4 or Olaf? I prefer J4. And Vista. One of the biggest issue was your role swap. So when did you prepare this role swap during the preseason? Maybe 2 weeks before the split? Head coach and coaches kind of suggested, would you like to role swap as an AD carry? So I was like, yeah, I can try. And I think my style actually fits to AD carry. A lot of fans are saying that you are good at the laning phase, but you are so good at the later phase of the laning phase, the mid and late game transition. Do you feel any hard time during the laning phase as a support player? Well, I mean, it hasn't been that long since I've been playing as an AD carry, so I'm studying how to do things in the laning phase. I'm still learning. But, in the team fight phase, you are really popping off. So let's check out the highlights of the Dragon fight. This one was the fight for the Dragon Soul. Rise was kind of isolated, the downside, so I did damage on him, and then he was zoned out, totally out of the fight. So everyone was so low, so I was able to flash forward. I mean, that was such a brave move, so we were really surprised. Well, I trusted my teammates, so I was really confident. Hanwha Life, you guys are having a solid teamwork. Haru and your matches will be going up against Genji, so how are you going to prepare for that? Yes, in the upcoming series, we want to get another clean victory. And Vista, what's your personal goal of the split? For me, winning Worlds as an AD carry. That's really cool. So I'll be wishing the best of luck for both of you two. And this will be the end of the interview with Haru, Vista from Hanwha Life Esports, and I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
No, thank you, Ji-sun, for another wonderful translation of the interview. Good to hear from Vista, his first Player of the Game award awarded to him. A former support player moving to AD carry. He wants to win Worlds. I feel like that's the goal that pretty much everybody should have, no matter how lofty, if you're aiming to be the best.
I would be really interested. You know how they did the NA thing? Would you rather win LCS or win Worlds? Or make it out of group?
Yeah.
Which was it? Make it out of group. Sorry. Make it
Yeah,
out of
it
groups,
must have been making
right?
it out of groups, yeah.
I'd be really curious on the LCK's take on either like World Finals or win LCK.
World Finals?
Yeah, we can't
I
just
don't
say
know.
win Worlds, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of people would choose finalists still.
I think in LCK, yeah.
Yeah, if it were semi-finalists, I'd be like, I think some people would probably pick LCK because they want to be like, I'm the best in Korea, but I don't know.
Well, we take a look at the standings now. SANDBOX find themselves in a bit of a rough spot along with Griffin and Damwon. So definitely very surprising. KT and APK still down there at the bottom, both trying to really find their groove. KT is the first game kings, or that's how some stuff has been. APK has had very close series with a few of these teams now. And so SANDBOX are really just struggling. And when you have such an elite player on your team, you have to really wonder what is going on that is causing their mid and late games to be so disastrous. As now we're going to take a look at the next matchup. This will be tomorrow. Damwon taking on KT. And honestly, this is going to be one of the softer matchups that Damwon is going to get at this point in time. So they lose this one tomorrow, the house is on fire.
I mean, I don't know what they're going to do if they do go down to KT.
We climax week 2
True.
with the T1 versus Gen G.
Yeah, the end matchup of the week.
Well,
seemingly, usually very good. Remember last year? Griffin against Jenner, I can never forget. Anyway, guys, thank you once again for watching. We will see you guys tomorrow for more LCK.
And I am ready to take it on. You told me to be myself and never feel alone. You're all that I want, you're all that I need. If I was ever in the dark, I'd see. You've always believed and have faith in me. You'll always be my hero. And I'll be for everything you've done. You'll always be my hero. Everything you like the way it's said. I feel so strong. I feel the freedom to be who I can be. You'll always be my hero. Give me everything I everything I need. You have faith in me. You're all that I want, all that I need. If I was ever in the dark, I'd see. Always believe and have faith in me. You'll always be